you ever wondered where true silence can be found? Is it in a quiet room or a deserted place? Or could it be something much deeper, hidden in plain sight, waiting for us to discover it? Welcome to the Motivation Zone at Freedom, where we explore profound lessons on mindfulness, inner peace, and personal growth. In today's video, we'll dive into a Zen story that teaches us how to uncover the hidden nature of silence, not by escaping noise, but by embracing it. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll gain a fresh perspective on how to find peace in the midst of life's constant noise. Dear friends, imagine a serene, peaceful garden bathed in the soft glow of early morning light. The Zen master and his eager students sit together beneath a towering tree. Around them, the world is alive with the quiet sounds of nature, the rustling of leaves in the breeze, the distant call of birds, and the soft murmur of a nearby stream. The air is calm, yet the mind of the student is restless, seeking answers. In this tranquil setting, the student turns to his master, filled with the desire for wisdom, and asks, "Master, how do I find silence?" The master, sitting still and composed, pauses for a moment before responding. He then asks the student, "Do you hear the birds outside?" The student, puzzled by the simplicity of the question, listens closely. The sound of birds chirping in the distance fills his ears. "Yes," the student replies, unsure of what to expect. With a calm and knowing smile, the master responds, "That is where you will find your silence." The student's confusion deepens as he contemplates the master's words. He had expected a lesson about emptiness, about shutting out the world. But as he sits in the garden, surrounded by the sounds of nature, a quiet realization begins to dawn. The master wasn't teaching about the absence of sound, he was teaching about finding stillness within the noise.
Dear friends, the master's response may seem surprising at first. After all, when we think of silence, we often imagine complete stillness, the absence of sound. But in this story, the master teaches a deeper truth. Silence isn't about what's outside, it's about what's inside. When the master pointed out the sound of birds, he was showing that silence can exist alongside sound. True silence is not found by running away from the noise of the world. Instead, it's found by embracing it, by accepting it without resistance or judgment. The student expected silence to be something distant, something that required shutting everything out. But the master gently guided him to understand that silence is present all the time, even in the noise. It's simply a shift in our awareness. You see, silence is a state of mind. It's found in the space between our thoughts, in the moments when we stop fighting the world and start listening with a calm, open heart. Friends, when we approach life with this sense of peace, we discover that even the loudest moments can hold stillness within them. The birds, the wind, the chatter of everyday life, all of it becomes a part of the silence when we stop resisting and start truly listening. Now, dear friends, how can we bring this lesson into our busy, everyday lives? We all live in environments filled with noise, whether it's the sound of cars, people, or the constant buzz of technology. Yet, just like the student in the story, we can find our silence amidst it all. Number 1, practice mindfulness. Next time you're surrounded by noise, don't try to shut it out. Instead, listen to it fully. Notice the sounds, but don't label them as good or bad. Let them flow over you like a gentle breeze. This practice helps you create space for inner stillness, even when the world around you is buzzing with activity. Number 2, meditate on sounds. Take a few moments each day to sit quietly and focus on the sounds around you. Whether it's the hum of a fan, the distant sounds of a city, or the chirping of birds, listen to them without trying to change or avoid them. This kind of meditation can transform noise into a pathway to inner peace. Last one is moments of stillness. Throughout your day, close your eyes for just a minute and remind yourself that silence is always within you. Even if the world is noisy, you carry a place of quiet inside. It's not something you need to seek out in a distant location, it's something you can tap into right here, right now. By practicing these simple techniques, friends, you'll begin to experience silence in a whole new way. You'll realize, just as the student did, that silence is not the absence of sound, but a peaceful acceptance of the world as it is. Whether you're in a bustling city or a quiet room, the sound of silence is always available to you if you just take the time to listen. Dear friends, the key takeaway from today's story is simple yet profound. Silence is always present, not somewhere far away, but within our own awareness. It's not about eliminating sound. It's about finding peace and stillness in the midst of life's noise. The Master's lesson shows us that we don't need to escape our surroundings to find silence. Instead, we just need to embrace what's already there. I encourage you to experiment with this in your own life. The next time you find yourself surrounded by noise, whether it's the sound of birds, traffic, or even a conversation, pause for a moment. Listen closely, not just to the sounds, but to the silence that exists between and around them. I invite you to share your experiences in the comments below. How do you find silence in your busy life? If you found value in this lesson, please consider subscribing to the Motivation Zone at Freedom for more insights on mindfulness, Zen teachings, and discovering peace within. Together, we can continue this journey of inner growth and awareness. And remember, friends, the next time you hear a bird, a car, or even a conversation, silence is there too. You just have to listen.